Yo, what up? What up? What up? We're back live again. How's everybody doing? Let's see. It's Friday. Just kind of chilling out, from what Wednesday, the last time we went live. Man, I've been busy after that, doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and then also planning, regarding my builds and stuff like that. And it's a trip because the weather's been nice, like outside during the day, but once it gets nighttime, it gets cold in here, man, like crazy. But I finally went ahead and got a heater, got a little plug-in heater, got that thing all hooked up. So today, this morning, when I was in here, like working on stuff, I didn't have to worry about that. Everything was pretty cool. You know, I turned that thing on, let it run for like a good like 20, 30 minutes, and I mean it was nice and toasty in here. After that, I was like, all right, cool. I could turn this off right quick. But hey, guys, I got some new stuff today. Well, yesterday and I think Wednesday as well. But I didn't have a chance to really show much. But I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit. You know, I'm gonna be picking up my daughter pretty soon from school, so I'm just kind of just chilling right now. I'm not really working on anything. I was like, yo, you know what? Let me jump on here and show you guys some things that I got. So yesterday in the mail, I went ahead and I was looking at stuff and I got a package in and I was like, yo, this is dope. It's finally here, and this is an original artwork piece right here by Tom Kelly. Check it out. Check this out right here. Look at that. Let's see. I'll go back. I'll change the angle real quick. This is the top view. So this is an original art piece right here. Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. This was all done with pen and marker. It's a trip. Like once you start, staring right into it, you could just see, the art and everything on there. And a part of getting this art piece, is primarily I've always wanted to own one of his art pieces, and I finally got this one of one original. And this is pretty much going to be just chilling over here on the side now, somewhere here, there, or maybe I might just hang it up, over there with like the House of Color clock. It's going to be out there for sure. But this thing's like sick, man. I was so happy I purchased it. So what happens is on Instagram, I follow him on Instagram, and every I don't know if it's every day or every other day, he's on there, and what he does is they post up art, his artwork that he does in that size. And right now that he's kind of been doing similar in that kind of a layout, and then he'll do like different characters, different vehicles. And there's been some that I've missed, because as soon as he puts them up that they're available for sale, they sell out really fast. So I missed a couple of them. I got in contact with them, and finally, I saw this one right here post up, and I was like, I right away messaged them. I want this. Is it available? Because I'm not sure if anybody beat me to the punch. So they said no, you got it. They're like, then that was like 30 seconds. We just posted it. You're the first one to hit us up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take it. So I ended up getting that, and then I also got this T-shirt as well. This is also a Tom Kelly T-shirt right here. So this is the front part. Let me see if I can show you guys the back part right here. So you guys can see that right there. So that's the back part of it. And yeah, I was just like, cool. He's also from out here from California. So, I've been wanting to support him, and I wanted to have a nice artwork piece here in the studio. So, I'm going to figure out where it's going to really go. So right now I just kind of have it there. I like looking at it, but later I'm going to like move it somewhere where it's like it's always going to be there. That way you guys could also check it out. Maybe it'll grow on you. Maybe you'll be on Instagram buying an art piece by him as well. That'll be pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of different like things that he posts up that's like so dope. There was one like as far as cars, it's not just like hot rods. He also does like Mercuries and some custom cars, and those are obviously the ones that man people like gun for. But I thought this one here was pretty cool. I really liked the car. Really cool cool sketch of the car. And I've always admired these whenever they the arm all sticking out with the shifter and all that, and you got little Red Riding Hood right there on the tongue, taking off. And yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I just really like it. And then I like that the signature is already there, right there, as opposed to like anywhere else or whatever, the back part. I thought that was pretty cool right there. So this is one of the things that I ended up getting uh, yesterday. Another package that arrived, and I want to shout out to Paul over at Left Coast Watercar Builds, because he had talked about this. He had recommended this a while back or some weeks ago, and this regards a calendar. And I got my hands on this. I went on MacLeod.com. I placed an order, and it just arrived. And let me show this to you guys right here. This is a 2026 calendar right here that I got on MacLeod.com. Scale model car 2026 calendar, and it's all just nothing but vintage box art right here. I thought that was pretty dope. And let me get this out of the way, because we have all the months, through the year, and then above you have a nice vintage art piece right there. So this is January. The cool thing is like a lot of the there's a lot of neat information in each month in this, because they'll have like events throughout the U.S. And then there's also some information regarding like for example here it says Dean Jeffries, MPC and monogram consultant, born 1933. So there's like some like history information right there. That's pretty neat. I thought that was pretty cool. And it just talks about different events. This is my birth month right here, the month of March. So that I thought that was pretty cool. Like, seeing all the stuff kind of going down. Like this seems like a busy weekend right here. All these Saturdays right here. So that's pretty neat. And I even like the car. I was like, oh, dope. That's a cool, funny car. It's pretty much the cover car right there. And let's see what else. So it's a really nice one on here. So yeah, there's just tons of information that are in this, and you could still find this on MacLeod.com. You just have to look up this name right here, scale model car 2026 calendar, and you should be able to find it right there. So it's a lot of really neat vintage box art. Like just having this like hung up on the wall is gonna look pretty dope. Obviously it does not have a hole like other calendars. They always come with a little hole, but it's just one of those things. You're getting this printed from a company, and it's almost like, it feels like it's almost like a booklet, right? But it's a calendar, like how it's set. But if you really wanted to go for the little hole, right, to have it appear or whatever, you could always just measure right in the center area, get a hole puncher, and just punch right through it, and you'll have it set like that. That's if you want to go that route too. So there's always ways around it. But yeah, there's a lot of cool cars. Look at that mongoose right there. I strip out on that dude's legs. That's pretty dope. The snake. Yeah, the other day I was looking at this car on, I think I was like on eBay or somebody was selling one of those like little slot cars, but the new, more like modern slot cars. And it had this. It was pretty much the snake one. I thought that was cool. Oh, look at this artwork right here. That looks crazy. The dude with the 3 eyes. That's pretty sick. So you see, there's all the different shows that are going down. Watch. May, June, July. Oh yeah, let me go back real quick, just so I could mention this show. Let's see, the May one. Boom, right here. Let's see, April 25th. Oh, here we go. This is the one I'm going to be at right here. April 25th, Left Coast Scout Classic Ventura. That one right there. Nice. So that's the April one. That's cool. Let me see. And then this is the one of the following weekend. This is the SoCal Open Chatsworth right here on the 3rd of May. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of thought that went into this calendar. And a lot of planning. I mean, sometimes it's tough to get all these dates and everything. Oh, here we have Left Coast Model Car Builds. I believe that's Paul's birthday. I want to say. I think that's what he said in the video. So it's August. So that's his birthday. My daughter's birthday is on the 25th. So they're like 5 days away. I'm gonna have to talk to him and tell him, and just dang. Now I'm not gonna forget. Whenever it's my daughter's birthday, I'll know. Oh, 5 days from now it's gonna be Paul's. That's pretty cool. And there's September. It's a trip back in the day when I was getting back into. And when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like 2015. All right, I'm not talking about like the 90s. None of that. 2015. Maybe it's not that long ago, but I came across this car, a model kit, and I remember, putting it together, but I really didn't have any information regarding the like background story or anything like that. At the time, I was just kind of like, oh, cool, I have this card and the engine goes in the back. All right. And then I had this other one where it was like two engines and all this stuff. And I don't know. I was just kind of like, all right, I need to just build these. But they were just fun builds like to do. I wasn't really trying anything serious. It was just more experimenting with stuff, with those. But later now, as I've been paying more attention to stuff and doing research, I've been looking at this car more and more, and even the kit. I know it's available. Like what it says right here, under glass. And I did see a video where it was on. I think it was on X or on YouTube. It was somewhere. It was just a short little video, and they show the driver of this car with Jay Leno, and they're going fast, and he does a turn and the car flips. And I mean, you see them inside, dude. I'm so surprised that it could have they didn't get hurt like bad, because it could have been worse. I don't know if Jay Leno had his arm out and then he put it in and he just tucked it in. But I was thinking, oh my God, like you could lose an arm because the window was open or whatever. But the body was thrashed. The one thing that looked like survived was the engine. Even the glass was intact. But it's a trip though. But I think now if I got my hands on this car now, like the kit, I'd most likely try to do like how it is at a box stock for sure, and just have fun with it. Oh man, this is so dope. I really like these vintage glue bottles right there. Dang. Man, look at this patch right here. It says Model Car Magazine right there. What up, Models by Ronnie? What's up, man? Yeah, man, it's a nice calendar, man. I recommend it. And it wasn't even that expensive. Oh, this is another car. So there's one. Man, it might be this one. Sometimes when I go on eBay, I look up vintage models, and there's one that looks just like this. I think it's a different one, but it looks similar style. But man, they're nice, but they're up there. They're pretty pricey. But one day, man, I'll I'll get one of those. Oh, check this out. So November 2026, but back in the day, on the 20th of November, it says George Barris, AMT consultant, born 1925. Wow, so he was born in 1925. Trip out on that. If he'd still be alive right now, he'd be what, 100 years old? Crazy, right? But you know what? His legacy, memory, and everything is engraved forever. It's been cemented. It'll always live on. Mr. Norm, funny car. That's pretty cool. Dang, you got the Santa down here. Looks like he's driving that Willys right there. What a trip. So what are you guys up to? What are you guys doing today? I decided to just jump on here a little earlier, and then later I'm gonna be taking off. Like I said, I gotta go pick up my daughter, and then just kind of I'll be back, but I'll see if maybe tonight I'll jump back online. Oh, look at this! This looks crazy. This is pretty cool. I'm really liking this. Scat City, funny car. Oh, look at this. At the bottom it says, attention club, model clubs and show promoters, send your information for inclusions of the 2027 model car. Or let's throw that up. So that's the address, the P.O. box. Dope. That's cool. I have to send them something that way. Oh, look at this. So this is the back, the promo. So there you go. That's the link right there. But look how beautiful this looks. This beautiful layout. Look at all the colors. Just very, very attractive. Then you got the magazines. So these magazines here, I know I have this one and I have this one. I want to say, I think these are the two that I currently have. And I know I've done the reviews on them. Or the previews, man. Why do I keep saying that? It's the previews. What up, Steven? What's up, man? I'm missing these. So I got to get these two right here. For sure. But check it out. See these ones right here? These ones up top? Check it out, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. I got them all right here. Right there. Really nice pages. Lots of models. Look at that. Vintage stuff. Really cool books right here. So I got the calendar and all 4 of these books right here from the MacLeod link right there. And as far as these bottom ones, like I said, I only got these 2, but I need to get the rest because he has a bunch of them, of these custom model magazines. And yeah, those are from Cool Cat. So Cool Cat, his name's Don. He's out here in California. You know, I've never met him in person. I believe we are friends on Facebook. I think I sent him the request like a while back, and I am in part of his group and stuff. We've had some interactions, you know, saying like liking stuff and whatever, you know, sharing stuff. But I've never have spoken with him or shook his hand. You know, I've never met him, so I do want to meet him. That's one of the things. I need to reach out to him and see what's up. I really would love to bring him on the podcast. I want to interview him. He does an annual show every year out here in California. You know what? Let me grab the flyer for that. So let me change it on here. Let me grab that flyer. I keep talking about it, but like that I'm gonna go to this show, but I don't even have a flyer. Like I don't even show you guys the flyer, but I have it right in front of me. And look at everything matches. I get the feeling the same I think this is Luke Carosi designed the flyer as well for him because everything has like looks really nice and uniform, really neat. So check it out. This is Model Car Show Cruising Nationals, May 23rd, 24th, 2026, Santa Maria, California. That's about maybe 2.5 hours for me to get here from where I'm at. This year's theme, traditional custom and rods. And let's look at the back of the flyer. Model Car Show, Saturday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then Sunday 9 to 2:30 p.m. And then there's the dates. So I need to get more info on this. See, that's his name. Oh, there's his number. Call him. I should just call him right now. No, I don't have my phone connected. It would be kind of cool if I had it connected and I just call him. He answers, we're like, we're live and direct from here in studio. So anyway, what was I gonna say? So see, model entry is free. Admission 20. So I think it's at this play. It must be the Fair Park, Santa Maria Fair Park. I've never been there, so it's at the convention center. So I need to find out as far as the models, you know, because if let's say I do end up going to something like this, do I go just one day? Do I go 2 days? Like how does this play out? That's what I want to know. This way I could organize myself and see what's up, what I need to do in order to attend this show right here and make it possible. Because it's going to be busy this year, especially in this month of May, you know, the end of April. And then up to this, that's like a total of 3 shows right there, you know, from the the Left Coast Scale Classic, SoCal Open, and then this show here as well. Let me see, monocar show, traditional. But yeah, they're also on Facebook, guys. So if you guys rocking on Facebook, make sure you look them up right there. But yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can to, you know, to make it happen. But man, this calendar though is so dope. So yeah, so this was something I got. I got something else I wanted to show you. Oh, let me piece it out right here. It's over here. Hang on, guys. Shh. Flyers. I need to get more. I need to get more that way I could hook people up. All right, this piece right here. All right, we got. Let me bring this in. We got this. Yeah, I believe this one came in on Wednesday because I did show George during the podcast. And if you guys haven't checked out the podcast, it's already up live here. Let's see. Let me switch the view, and we'll check this out right quick. So let's start with the AMT. I don't know what year this was released. So this is the custom competition grills and bumpers. And there's the part number right there. See back of package for assembly instructions, 69 cents, 125th scale. So everything in here, I mean, it's clean. That chrome is very clean. I mean, the box has warped right here. It's not crushed. It's just like a warp over time. You know, maybe maybe it did get crushed right here, but as far as the inside, the parts still look fine. They don't look damaged whatsoever. So this is a nice old piece right here. Then there's the address of the OG corporation right there, AMT, when they were in Troy, Michigan. Information regarding the parts that are here, and it just says popular grills and bumpers, regarding trimming, sectioning, molding, combining, painting. So right there, it's giving you all the steps and kind of breaking it down, like what they mean by that, by like molding, sectioning, trimming, combining. And then right here, it tells you the description of the parts identification right there. So there's a lot of parts in here. This is really neat. There's a lot more in the series. They do have other different types. And I really like this one. For now, I'm going to just keep it like this, packaged. But later, there will be a point where, a time when I'm going to just open this up and bust it out. And it will be something that I will be, using for a build. That would be the idea, So the next one that I received was this one here. This is by Breville. Hey, let me, I believe it was like this. I could be wrong. Let me see. No, I think it was the other way. So this is just old school packaging. It was pretty much like vacuum sealed. 125th scale custom car parts. So it included bumpers and grills, 69 cents. And then right here just says carefully remove film with a sharp knife. And then down here in this corner it says California Custom. The one thing though, I mean, the way this was packaged, it was like this, and then it was placed in a bag. But this thing had already been opened. Like you could tell it was already kind of busted from this or whatever. So it just made this open up like nothing, right? I'm not tripping on it. Like it's all good. I do plan on using this. So I'll flip around the back right there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep this packaging just because it's very old. So there's the different settings, placements that you could do with these. Yo, what up, Reds? What's up, man? So with this, the reason why you see these all empty is because the parts are over here on this end, right here. These were like some of the pieces that were like, let's say like this, like set up. And then the rest are over here. Right here on the side where these little ones went, but I looked at some photographs as references to the this packaging, and it looks like there was more of these like club plaques that were here. I mean, this is tiny, dude. You're probably not gonna be able to see the details, but it's just a little tiny club plaque, and it had like maybe a few of them, and I only got one. So the other ones are missing. I don't know. They got lost or whatever. But then again, these they're dope. All this. I don't know. You see, the thing is, I don't know if this is supposed to be gold or chrome because it almost looks kind of faded. Like if it faded into gold, I really don't know. I need to look for another one as a reference, to know like what's up. As far as these go, some of these are already broken. Like this one's broken right up here. You can kind of see it there. It's already like broken right there up top. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not really tripping. I could always just glue it, reinforce it. Unfortunately, the shininess, it looks pretty worn out. I could always glue this, reinforce it, and repaint it or something. That could happen. Even these areas don't look so smooth. They look pretty rough. If I ever decided to rechrome these, I still could do that. I would just need to really like prep them. I would have to like ask Armando or Vision 124 what would be the, what they recommend for me in order to bring these back to life. These were made very long time ago, so it would be pretty awesome to bring these back to life. Extra pair of headlights. I was tripping out on the headlights because even when you look inside, it almost looks like there's glass or something in there, but there's not. I don't think so. It looks trippy. It looks very trippy right there. And then you got all these little ones. So yeah, I was just kind of you know, like being like, oh well, what if I use like this grill for this car and I slanted it. Here, let me do the side view better. Probably make more sense. Not straight, but like more of a slanted in kind of look. Yeah, I could barely see this. Here, let's lining it up like that. I don't know, but it was just a thought. I'm still kind of searching for parts for this car, and I still want to extend the rear as well. Oh dang, maybe I could. Nah, not this. It looks like a gate, like a fence. But I do want to extend this still more of a slant kind of look. So I'll set these here. Bam. But yeah, this one, I probably will look for another one as well to get. I'm probably gonna end up doubling up on these two products, but it's all good. I mean, they weren't that expensive. They were pretty cheap. So picked them up, got them in, and now I'm just kind of figuring them out, like seeing how what I'm gonna end up doing with them, pretty much. Let me see. All right, let me see right here. You kind of see them. Me But yeah, this car I haven't worked on it. The Bel Air. I kind of just been from the last time we did the sanding and the shaping. I haven't been able to work on it. Just been busy, like working on stuff, and I've been cranking out a lot of videos, a lot of little shorts on Instagram, Facebook, and I'll put some also on here on Facebook and on TikTok. So I just been kind of floating the videos around, uh, just because I noticed, not everybody's everywhere. Not everybody is in is in every platform. I have my accounts in every platforms, to promote stuff, bring more awareness to the hobby, and for the most part, there's some friends that I noticed they're like they don't do Instagram, they don't do Facebook. They only stick to just the one platform. So when I'm able to share it across all the platforms, I know it reaches them because then later they'll hit me up or leave a comment or something, where I know like cool. The only downside to doing a lot of posts like that sometimes is the availability, the ability to be able to reply to every comment on every platform, because now when you're going into all of them and you start to compile them, it could be, I don't know, 50, 100 comments, more comments on across all videos. It's not just one video. One video could have like maybe a couple comments or 10 comments, and every time you check back, there's gonna probably be one, months later or whatever. So they start to stack up, and the only downside is that like it's sometimes it gets hard to reply to everything, and you also don't want people to feel like you're ignoring them or you're just a lot of times I'll be like, all right, cool, I already got done with what I got to do. Now let me sit down, let me go on the app, and let me look up the comments, and let me start reading them and replying to them. And it gets tough because sometimes you got to take a break and do stuff, and um yeah, it could be overwhelming, but little by little, I try to, but sometimes it's tough to get to everything right there. But the content creation side of it, I really love it. It's really fun. I'm enjoying doing a lot of the storytelling as well. That I'm really digging. Um, Last item that I got in today are these two books. But let me see, like with these, I get them in and I check them out and I start, I'll read articles and then I'll start reading more. And from there, I start doing more research. It takes me down a rabbit hole pretty much of what's in here. So like, let's see, this book here came out in October of 64, and this is only volume 1, number 5. So I'm still missing numbers into the volume. And you see a lot of cool stuff. Like you see a lot of these like really cool ads from back in the day. Even the book has a smell, like the pages, like OG, like you could tell OG paper right here. Some more paint. Um, it's just the way the book has weathered out is pretty nice. Let me see here. Then it's just like kind of some instructions breakdown of of this model here. Let me see if there's any, because there's some that are like tutorials as well, and then there's some that like right here it's there's a tutorial right here, a nice little spread. So yeah, there's with a lot of these, I like looking at them, and right now I'm digging that I have the table here set up because I could just lay it down and like flip through page by page, and I like to treat it, you know, as something that has been around for so long. I'm just trying to preserve it. I'm not trying to rough it up, roll it up, put it over my arm, and walk around. I'll get to it. No, I'm really trying to like preserve these and read them, so this way I can present them to everybody and go from there and learn. I'm just trying to learn more and more and more stuff about what's going on, what went on back then, and also what's going on now. Um, I've met a good amount of people, model builders, but there's a lot more I have not met. So I know we're gonna end up crossing paths, or something's gonna lead to us, meeting. Like this calendar I was talking about earlier. You know, like I do want to bring in. I just said Don Coolcat. That's somebody I want to bring in. Even this guy here, Luke Carosi. I could tell just from seeing those books that I purchased and like looking through this. I know for a fact that he is also another model car enthusiast, historian, like just someone with a lot of knowledge. And there's even some books that I've come across on eBay that I'm like, oh damn, I want to get this. Or even on Amazon, sometimes there's books, but it'll say like it's unavailable, but it's still listed, and there'll be names of certain people that I never got to meet. But then later I start learning that they've passed away, And I'm like, oh man, you see, those are that right there. When you find that out, it sucks because you wish they were still around so you could like get to meet them and say what's up, and they could give you some info as well to pass on. So I know for me this is new. For me, all this like diving deep into 60 stuff is a new thing for me. For some of my friends that I tell them about it, it's new to them too, and they're tripping out as much as I am, you know. But I know that there's a lot of other people that have already known this. They've been living this for a long time, and I'm hoping to meet those people because I have a lot of questions, and I think once we get in conversation and we talk, I know it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting, because it it's like I'm gonna be like a student all over again, like the craft, everything, wanting to learn, the secrets of what did they use, the tricks, tips and tricks, everything. I feel like Lowrider Bicycle Magazine, the the '90s stuff, that was obviously more lowrider catered. So that right there was blowing my mind as a kid, and it still does to this day. Everybody who was featured in those books, I'm like, wow, props to you, man. Like, you were already doing your thing back then. A lot of the 60 stuff, it's not lowrider stuff. You look through the magazine, you're not gonna find a lowrider in there. It's gonna be more custom and hot rods that you're gonna be finding in there, and it's a lot about styling, the designs of the car, uh, everything from lowering the car, Frenching parts from the car, and also the paint jobs, the styling of everything. There's a lot of elegance in the 60s with a lot of styling, um, and I really like a lot of stuff from that era. Whenever you go to like a restaurant or a building and you find out that this was constructed back in the 60s, and you see the type of styling that went into it or the design, and you start to think, wow, they don't even make that kind of stuff now. Like, why? What happened to all the artists? You know, now that we just build boxes, and that's it. It's just like a depressing building, a building for everybody to just be stuck in and be all sad, right? Um, and back then it was like artists just busting out, flexing and pushing that envelope. And with model building, you could still do that. It just obviously it just depends the style and what you want to do, the genre and everything. I'm still, I'm exploring, I'm experimenting with things, and I go through these little kicks, where I'm into this, and then later I'll be into that, and you guys are gonna see that as time goes on, as I continue going live and making more videos and working on more builds. You're gonna see the cars switch up. Right now, I'm doing more of a custom style stuff. I do want to go back and get into a lowrider, and then later, continue on with my muscle cars, and also like get into the funny cars and everything, and then back to JDM stuff, and start going heavy with that. So little by little, going into everything. One of the ones I do want to build in the future, though, for next year would be this big old trailer thing that I have up there. That's what I really want to build. I've been holding on to that for quite a while. I just I haven't had really the idea of what to do right now with it. So it's just chilling right there. Because if I bust it out right now, I'm just gonna be like, all right, let me primer prep it, and then where am I gonna put it? It seems like a big thing. I don't know. It might be like from here to here, maybe. You know, but it would be dope because now I have like a lot of cars I could put in there. Start like stacking those cars in there. I think that would be pretty cool. To put in there. Let me see here. So yeah, like I said, the calendar. This is definitely a must right here. And you know, there's these books that he has available on there as well. And it's super cool. artwork and stuff. And man, I just like buying and getting all this stuff right here. Let me pull out a mag real quick for you guys. Let me uh, let me dig back. Bam. Let's bust out this OG one right here. I know it's been a while. I'm just gonna flip through the pages. 'Cause I'll be taking off soon, but we'll look at this right here. All right. So this is May, June 96. So this is what you would see like at a liquor store. I don't think I ever saw one at the grocery store. I think it was always just the liquor stores, or like 7-Elevens would have them, you know. But this is what would catch my attention. I mean, the bikes were cool. I always wanted to have a lowrider bike, but I never did. I never got one. But I always thought this was cool. It's like models, and then you would see a lowrider car and be like, "What?" But during this time with the models, right, I had no idea that Scale Auto was around and all these. There was a lot of stuff already going down in the 90s. I had no idea, though. You know, I was a little kid. I didn't know it. I didn't even know. I only had like two friends I'd build models with. And even them, they didn't know what was going on. So look, right here it has Santa Clara Convention Center. Right there, when you hear Santa Clara, you're already thinking NNL West right there. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. All right. So, and then these were the license plates they would hook you up with that you could cut out and put them on your in your models. So this whole section is just nothing but lowrider bikes, just showing you all the clubs. Oh, like look at these dudes right here. Sometimes they show that was pretty cool. Right there. That's like a pretty sure it's a car club. It says model builders organized by Ronnie Barraza. Oh yeah, so this dude right here up top, this is Rodney Barraza. I've met him. Oh wait, is that him? No. He's this guy right here. Sorry. I just looked at him right there. Second from left. So Rodney, he's a model builder, and I met him at NNO West in Santa Clara. So this is in San Jose. There you go. That's their area. And then here's another photo of these guys right here with their models. Models, cars built by Vincent Martinez. The street style boys walked away with trophies in their rooms. Yeah, so this dude, Rodney, I met him through Armando. So he was there at the NNL West. I saw him there one year, but I didn't know him. And then we went back again, and I saw him again. And then Armando was like, "Yo, I want you to meet someone." And he was like, he was also on Lowrider Bicycle Magazine. And I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" So we kept in touch, you know, and we said what's up to each other. And you know, he always liked going to that show. I always felt like that Santa Clara show was the one show for a lot of people that lived in the northern part of California. Let's see here. So like I said, this is all just bikes, right? The first section. Then look at this. You start seeing like some ads right here. You know, this ad was a dope one. And then just seeing all these little bits. And it's crazy because look, see this model right here? It's this one right here. It's that one right there. In color. What a trip. The monogram. But yeah, like it's just a lot of cool stuff that's in this book. Paint Maverick, what's up? Dang. Yeah, I'm just chilling, bro. Just flipping through these pages, you know, real quick before I take off. Oh, look at this. Just cooking. Crooking. What? It's cooking. Model hydraulic kit with chassis. That's crazy, man. Like the model stuff was hot during this era, and even back in the 60s it was hot. It's always been hot, man. It's always been a hot thing for these magazines. All right, so ooh, look at this, dude. Design evolution. Oh wait, you guys can't see it though. The glare. Keep forgetting about the glare. That looks like a little model. Like it's all styrene. It looks like. What a trip. And then that's the real one, the big deal right there. Let me see. I gotta check something real quick, guys. Mhm. All right, cool. All right, sorry guys. I had to send a text real quick. All right, cool. So then, you had the poster. It's like you got two posters. You got this spread right here of this bike, and then this was like the huge poster of the same bike. You know, crazy, right? But pretty dope. So that's a bike featured San Jose, and then bam, here we go. This was the good stuff right here. This is like if you got your hands on these books when you were a kid, this is what made everybody be like, yo. You couldn't wait to build the model. Oh, look at this one. This one has that suicide radical look right there. I always tripped out on the rims because if you see it, it looks like it's just a rim and that's it, right? You can't really see the tire. From what I had observed and asked and learned is that during that time, a lot of the times to get your model looking even lower because the tires were pretty fat, people would just use a rubber O-ring and put it on the tire. So like if it was sitting sideways or like just if you took a picture from it or looked at it sideways, you know, you would see the rim and the tire really tiny, right? And it would make your car look lower. But if you use the regular size tires, an example like I don't know, like these ones here, they're too fat, they're too chunky. But look at this though, like by observing this now, this here already a custom. Look at this custom, really nice. You know, as a kid, I wouldn't even have known about customs because there was nobody telling me about customs. I would have been just thinking, oh, that's just a lowrider because it's low, you know. But now, as an adult looking at it, I could see the styling, the wheels, the even the type of paint job that they executed on there is pretty dope. Let me see. Let me give you guys some say what's up. That dude, let's see, the Big C, and then Fuels Models. What's up? Is headquarters, Paint Maverick, Reds Scrapyard, Steven Kessel. What's up, guys? All right. So then I don't know. It's kind of funny, Fred Flintstone. This one here, see, I don't know if this is. Yeah, this has to be. They did a hopper, like a toy hopper, out of this one, but it's not. You could. I now by looking at it, I could see, even these lines are like done by brush, like by hand, not an airbrush. Damn, they did a replica of that car. And then this one here, it looks like there's a ring, like it's inside of a wrestling or boxing ring. And the switch box. I wonder if that was a hopper. This is a clean truck. We got the OGVW right there. We got a Merc right up here. Really clean. This must have been also a custom just by looking at the rear tail lights. And then also right here, look at these like French antennas popping out right there in the back. Then they even gave us a front view right there in this mag. And then these dudes right here just staring at the cars, man. This is like what you still see today. Everyone just tripping out on models. And then down here, this shot right there. But yeah, this is a very clean bug. It's pretty much the same one, it looks like. But you got it in color and then just the black and white. So city style modelers. Yeah, so it seems like in this book, this person Joaquin Olivas went out to Northern California to cover the NNL West, and he also got to hang out with city style modelers. Probably went to their pad, somebody's house. This is for sure someone's house. Laid out all the models, did the story, because even right here, for the City Style Modelers Club of Sacramento, California, Thursday night is a big night of the week On the last Thursday of each month, the city style boys meet at the local Round Table Pizza Parlor. What? Located at the corner of North Yate Boulevard and West El Camino in Sacramento, to talk about model cars, not only about what's being built or who's breaking out hot, but also about new club projects, helping new members, and sharing building techniques. The city style modelers assemble together to demonstrate the fact that their hobby is alive and well. Dang, look at that. Alive and well. What about right now? Same thing, man. Crazy, right? All of us, we're all holding the torch. We all are. I mean, even if you're not building a model, but you're buying models and you're supporting shows, and you're sharing people's stuff online, you're still in the game, man. You're still in the game. But that's pretty dope right here. Let's see. It says the 25 member club inducts any interested people with the drive and enthusiasm to dedicate themselves to finishing what they have started. Nice, man. You see, I'm gonna have to read this whole thing later, not right now, but get some info. Yeah, I gotta. I haven't heard this name in a long time, and I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but I feel like we need to do some coverage on this. At least an updated new video on this to spread the word. Then we got some snapshots right there. All right, so check it out. Look at this truck right here. Look at the wheel. We're going to focus on the wheel. Look at the tire and look at the rim. Even the back one, right? But it looks crazy though. Like you look at it, it's a radical, but just the stance of it, you go, wait, what? Like, how could that be in real life, right? But I think what it is, it has to do with, once the truck is all put together and laid down, I'm sure it lays low, right? Right here, they're displaying the whole thing. And I mean, it looks pretty crazy, right? But it's just the display. But it's also not to look at this model and be like, oh, that's a fantasy. Like, that's not a real car, and like diss it. No, it's like, this is just to give you an idea of like, look at what this guy did. He even engraved the glass on there. Suicide doors. Look at the front, and not only does the front clip go forward, but it's like turned sideways. It's taking it to the next one. But it's just one of those things. I look at this, I'm like, oh, that's dope. Someone that's just trying to push it out there. And then earlier those pages I was showing you, the city style modelers, they're right here. In this photo right here. Here's a photo of the members right there. I wonder if Rodney was part of that club as well. And then look at the trucks. See, in the truck, if you look at the hood inside the engine bay, I mean, you see that purple trim in lavender complementing the purple. So that trim, I used to wonder, what is that? What is that material? And it's pretty much just like that really soft. There's like a wire inside and you could bend it, right? I think you could find them at most like craft stores. You could find those in. But that was used a lot back then. And even in some of the articles from these older magazines from the 60s, there's some cars that have that material in there. And I'm like, I want to get some now. Just like if I do an old school, kind of model, and I'm like, yo, like, why not pay homage and try to use some of the material they were rocking back then, but now do it now. I think that would be pretty neat, but I do need to get some of that stuff, some of that type of that wiring right there. So this is NNL West, all right here, that you see right there. NNL West, better known as the NNL Santa Clara. You see all the crowd right there. This, you still see that like from the times ago. But check this out, guys. So right here we have a photograph of Armando Flores' son. Right here, Armando Flores Jr. won the Young People's Choice Award. So right here he has, you can see his model, and then he has the award right there. Unfortunately, his son passed away some years back. I think it's been 12 years now from when he passed away, and yeah, this is like when I remember like looking at this magazine and I saw this and I was like, oh wow, I never got to meet him. I never got to meet his son, but rest in peace to him. And I thought that was pretty awesome. He was also building model cars with his dad, as well. And look down here. This is Armando Flores' 63 Impala. This is a really nice, beautiful 63. I believe Juana Mesqua owns it now. Um, I know he really wanted that car, so Armando parted ways with it right there. But this is really nice because this is a memory. This is a memory from back then. NNL West, and his son got an award there, and then he's also he's featured here as well. And this is just back in the day, man. Good times, really good times. I could only imagine how that drive must have been, like driving up there with your son, with your friends, with family, and just coming back. I mean, I remember all the times I've gone to NNL, the trips going up there with friends. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, what up, David? Let's see, soft wire. They told us it was called pipe cleaner. Oh, dude, you know what? It is like a type of cleaner. Yeah, and it's really soft. I think it is, bro, because watch, I'm gonna show you this '69 Chevelle right here. Look at this one. You can see it more clearly in there. Let's see how close I can get. Right there. It's got those Pegasus swivel bucket seats right there. And then how the hood and trunk, how they split in the middle. That's pretty dope. And then this 58, Robert Garcia's 58 Chevy model hooked up. I always tripped out on the little blue wire that's with the switch box. That's sticking out. I always thought that was pretty cool. Then he removed the trunk right there. And it's just that classic 58 Impala kit, the AMT one, doors open. But man, that dually though looks bad. That purple dually, shh, man, I really love the color contrast with the lavender right there. And then right here we have, this is Ashley Hope's 55 Chevy. That's her model right there. That's crazy, man. She's probably she's probably my age now. She's probably like in her 40s, and she's probably like, what the heck? I didn't even know I was in a magazine. Let's see. Here we go. Rodney. So this is Ronnie Barasa's gold 79 Caddy. That's one of his models right there. That's the gentleman that I met. Oh, dude. Look at Ben Torres' fabulous 50 Chevy, though. Look how beautiful that is right there. Those colors. And just the chrome alone. And it complements this one here. Rodney's 64. So Rodney got featured here. And he's right there with that. That's dope. And whose car is this? Here, I'm going all over the place. Greg. And then this one, Danny Hernandez, too. That's pretty dope. So yeah, you start seeing photographs of all these people here. Oh, so look, this is Rodney right here. He kind of looks like Jeffries, but that's Rodney. He looks like he could be like Jeffries' like cousin or brother. And then this is Alan. Look at Alan Gonick right here. I saw Alan, what, like in November? So what, like a month ago or so? Early November? I need to talk to him. I need to get him back on the podcast. He's been in the game for so long. He knows a lot of history, a lot of stuff, especially with the lowrider. See, right here it says, model expert Alan Gonick gave positive words about the lowrider class. Yeah, this dude knows a lot of stuff. And then at the time, this is the staff for NNL West. I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys were still there when when it ended, towards the end. But that's pretty dope. And then damn, the hydraulic tech talk. So man, I always wanted one of these bikes. So These 220. Were they always 220 or one something or 160? I couldn't tell. But they offered them in blue, red, and green. I had a friend who had the green one and the blue one. And I remember they used to cruise together, and I used to tell them, man, if I ever get mine, I might have to get the red one because I don't want to get the same color as you or whatever. But for $220, this is what you got right there. And then these are just all the optional parts, right? But a lot of people took it beyond. You know, they started customizing them and everything. But man, if I could find one of these now, man, I would love to buy one. I don't know if I'd cruise it though. I'd probably just ride it right here up and down the street, but I wouldn't want to cruise it around town. I'll I'll get pushed off that bike and somebody would take it away from me, and then I'll be like, whatever. I'm not gonna chase it. Whatever. Here we go. These are the frames right here. So yeah, the red. I guess I was gonna get the red, and then there's the banana seats, velour. So they were called custom velour seats, not banana. Why were we calling them banana seats? Maybe that was the name. All right. And then this right here, this is Larry. I did a short video on this. I already produced the video for Larry Smith. This was a really cool article with Larry. Pretty much talks about him building models as a kid in his childhood. Everything from model cars, boats, trains, motorcycles, dioramas. And then, you know, obviously having to put the hobby aside and moving on into, you know, work. And it says here that he was a bus driver for the city out here in California. And, you know, over time, he ended up buying he had a car that he was like, I believe it's a Corvette. Yeah, he bought a Corvette that he was like, oh, I'm going to do like a replica of his car. And then over time, he just was like buying so many kits that he was back on the table, like just buying and creating models. So it talks a lot about this. He finished more than 300 models. That's a lot of models. See right there, it says more than 300 models, finished models. So that's pretty awesome right there. And it was just him as an adult coming back to the hobby. That's why they call it Larry's first love. For Larry Smith, returning to modeling was natural as can be. That's pretty cool. And then we got some more stuff right here, but I'm going to take off, guys. I hate to leave you guys hanging. It was cool chilling out while we could right now, but I got to get ready. I got to, you know, get ready to take off because, you know, got to go get my daughter. Imagine I don't go. I'm over here like, yeah. And then they're like calling me like, hey, boo, where you at? You know, that would not be good, you know. Let me see. But yeah, guys. So next time, maybe we'll continue this one. I'm gonna have to put like a little paper or something right here so that way we know, and I'll see what's up. But I hope you guys enjoy your Friday. I'll see if maybe I'll come back later tonight. I'll see how I'm feeling, if I'm not too tired or whatever, depending what's going on. You know. Dang, look at that right there. That's pretty sick. Is this one really hopping, or are they just like someone's holding it, pushing down the bumper at the back? That's dope. Yeah, all the hoppers right here. It says Dolphin Park Model Car and Bike Show. Dang. Oh, this was in Carson, California. Oh, okay, Duke's Car Club. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll come back to that, man. It's just sorry, guys, to leave you guys kind of hanging, but I gotta take off right here. So thank you for hanging out with me. We'll kick it another time. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the Friday, and you know, if you're working on your builds or whatever, just do it up. So, all right, guys, peace out. Later on, everybody in the chat as well. Thank you guys for tuning in and saying what's up. All right, later.